coursework and preparing for finals, I wasn't sure that I could handle one more thing. But after the panic started to wear off, I started to think about what I could possibly say to such a wide-ranging group of graduates. As any good student would, I started researching graduation speeches, but none seemed to fit this special occasion. I began to reflect upon my career and how I felt as a new nurse almost 16 years ago today. I thought back to nursing school and remembered with a smile the nursing skills labs and clinical rotations. Although in retrospect, I was not smiling at the time and I was scared out of my mind. I recalled standing in line outside of the skills lab, sweating, butterflies in my stomach, waiting to be tested on a sterile dressing change. I remember going to clinical and having to give my first bed bath, being terribly embarrassed to expose the patient. I was moving the covers all around, trying not to expose her, and she finally threw the covers off and said, "Honey, I gave birth to 6 kids. I lost my modesty a long time ago." I remember my first job. There were no positions for new graduates at the hospitals where I dreamed of working. I took a position in a long-term care facility to get experience. Although this wasn't my first choice, it led to a management position and skills that have followed me throughout my career. Many of us in this room have returned to school several times in pursuit of advanced degrees. Some of us started as LPNs or diploma nurses and are here today to celebrate master's and doctoral degrees. Learning is a lifelong process, and as nurses, we are committed to stay current in our knowledge. I once worked with a physician who was getting up there in age. He would frequently be asked when he planned to retire. He always said, "I'll retire the day I come to work and don't learn anything." That is the epitome of lifelong learning. I recall the moment I informed my husband that I wanted to go back to school to pursue a master's degree. He took the news surprisingly well, even though this meant doing 99% of the cooking, cleaning, and laundry for the past 2.5 years, although I still cannot get him to dust. I would not be standing here today without his support and the support of my parents and friends. The online master's program at Duquesne affords its students the opportunity to pursue a degree that may otherwise be out of reach. Many of us were able to continue to work, get married, and raise children, all the while completing our coursework. The program challenged us to develop new ways of thinking, breaking away from our previously formed ideas while encouraging us to express ourselves. I would like to specifically address the undergraduates. As you start your nursing career, always remember what your role is. When you're convinced that the patient in 2B is trying to drive you crazy by ringing the call bell all night, do not get upset. Take a deep breath and remember that this is someone's mother, father, brother, sister, or spouse. The patient is probably scared and lonely. Use your skills to calm and reassure. Nursing is a unique career different from many others. Nurses don't check their career at the door when they leave work. Nursing is an identity. People will always look to you to set an example. Please make your profession proud in the way that you present yourself. And finally, the thank yous. Thank you to our professors, for without their guidance, devotion, long hours, and hard work, none of us would be sitting here today. Thank you to our preceptors. We should never forget what it's like to be a student. The fear, the anxiety, the feeling of not knowing everything that you need to know. Remember that feeling when you're asked to precept a nursing student. Remember the preceptors who helped you get to this point, sitting today at your graduation. Several of my preceptors sit amongst us today, and I want to thank them. Remember the knowledge that your preceptors shared with you, and make them proud by sharing that knowledge with others. Thank you to our families and friends who supported us, listened to our struggles, and offered words of encouragement along the way. I'd like to end with a quote from a nurse. When you're a nurse, you know that every day you will touch a life, or a life will touch yours. Congratulations,